So I realize sometimes the recording window is not looking proper. I hope this one comes a little better. So continuing from what we were discussing last, so what we need to do is essentially given now we have a model where given all this x1 to x1 t I xit where I xit where I goes from 1 to 784, all the pixels basically. Given that we have a model to predict for yt equal to k. So sorry, we have a model to predict. So how do we predict? So first step is we compute basically what is the probability that yt takes a value k given you have seen this data xit, this entire data. What is this you want to do? Second step is you take argmax of 1. So which k maximizes this, and that's what you're going to report. Okay, but if you see, we need to still find out models for what is the probability that yt is equal to k. We need this one because it forms one of the parameters. The second one is you need to find out this. So probability that xi equal to xit given yt equal to k. So these two models we need to do. Now these two models are easy to do from the data. How is that? So this is basically, you look at all the data you have, all the data. So here I would like to emphasize that you are supposed to divide the data into 90% of the data should go into training set. Okay. So this is a standard thing that you will see more and more in machine learning. Let me try to teach why that is important. So all the data, 90% of that, only 90% of that you will use for training. The 10% data you are not going to use for training. Okay, what do you mean by training? Is basically trying to estimate these functions. Okay, that is what is the idea of training. Now, why do you do this? So the idea is, you are supposed to learn the model first, and then you are supposed to deploy it. Okay, but the thing is, if you deploy it without really seeing how its effect will be, it might be a problem. So what you do is you take all the data, divide it into this 90 and 10%. So this one you will pretend. Okay, you pretend as if this is real live data. Okay, so that means when your system gets deployed, you are pretending as though this test data is live data. Okay, and then you will measure your performance. You measure your performance meaning your model performance on test data. So this is the idea. Okay, so yeah, so you don't use this test data at all for the training. So we will look at how to do the training later. I mean, how to do the test later. But let's look at first trying to estimate how do we learn these parameters. Okay, so this is pretty easy. So the first one, if you see, you are asking what is the probability that that particular test is equal to k without using any data. Okay, that is what the first thing is. So this is the prior probability. Okay, so the first model, what is the probability that k comes is just prior. Okay, so how do you estimate this? You basically look at number of samples. Number of samples means number of samples in training data. Okay, and then you find out what is the number of samples labeled as k. So you look at all the samples which are labeled as k and divide it by the total number of training data samples. That is your prior. You're not using any of the labels. So that is the first thing, which is easy to understand. The second thing is also equally easy. So here, if you see, what is it? So you are supposed to look at only the values with k. So here, k can take value from 0 to 25, 0 being a and 25 being z. Okay, so that's what is the understanding. So here what you do is, in order to estimate this, that is equal to basic, you just look at pixel xi, which is equal to, so here the problem here is you want to find pixel xi equal to maybe small xi, okay, given y is equal to k. So what you do is you look at pixel, count the number of pixel xi which is xi, okay, and the label is marked, label is k. Okay, so you first count, so all the pixels which is all the cases where the pixel xi is small xi and the label is k, divided by, so this is not the numerator, for excuse my mistake here, so this is just yeah, just cut it out. So this divided by number of samples marked as k. Okay, this, if you see, this is very reminiscent of the formula, right? Xi equal to small xi, intersection label equal to k divided by p label equal to k. So it's very similar to that. So that's what we are doing. Okay, so yeah, so that gives us 1 and 2. So this finishes all our training set. So your whole algorithm should first go through the entire CSV file and estimate these parameters. That is part 1, which is the training. So once the training is done, you are going to calculate for a given test, which is here xi, x2, x3, like this. You are going to use the model that you have generated and compute this and do the argmax. Okay, so the second test is test stage. So whatever the 10% you have, right, for 0.1 of data set, you predict, okay, and compare with actual label. So this, in real life you will not have actual label at all, but since we are developing the algorithm, we can divide our data set into 2 parts so that we can do this. Then you generate what is called as a confusion matrix. So true ground label, what is the actual label will be here, like 0 to 25. What you predict will come here. So this is your prediction. So this will be 0 to 25. So if you are predicting, if these numbers are high, whatever is in the diagonal is high, that means your model is doing well, because your true ground label and the prediction is matching. So you should try to aim as high values as here as possible. Looking at this matrix, you can tell which are the common confusions. So maybe I don't know, A and what else is close to A? Maybe A and I don't know, N may be confused. Okay, so A and N somewhere here, there might be confusion. So you need to see where the confusion is arising. Okay, so that is the part of your second thing. All right, so I think there is sufficient details here. I will continue on few more implementation tips in the next video.